Welcome, everybody, to the Bradenton Area Convention Center. I'm Scott Jamison. We'll bring you today's match. We will get started here momentarily. We've got Florida State College at Jacksonville Blue Wave taking on the Hillsborough Community College Hawks. We'll get that corrected for you on the screen. Sorry about that. I was going so fast I mixed up the mascot there. I won't blame Tyler for that one. That one's on me. Sorry about that. So it is the HCC Hawks, not the Falcons, the Hawks, of course. These are two teams that are very capable of going to the national tournament, without question. This is an elimination game. Only one team is going to advance on from here. So this is a big one. One team will be going home. The other team will continue in the losers bracket with a chance to go to the national tournament. As I said before, both of these teams very, very capable of running the table through the losers bracket, going to the national tournament, and for that matter, winning the state tournament. These are two talented teams led by two very talented coaches and have the capabilities of making a run. Last year we saw Polk State do it through the losers bracket. There's no reason one of these teams couldn't. Speaking of Polk State, over on court number 1, Miami-Dade, 27-0, number 1 team in the nation, is taking on Polk State. The winner of that match will advance on to the national tournament. 3 representatives from the state of Florida, from NJCAA Region 8. For FSCJ, 3 teams will go to the national tournament. Sorry, I need to finish that thought. Will advance on to the national tournament. Sharik Brian Garmos with the serve into the net. FSCJ, the champions of the Panhandle Conference, their first year in the Panhandle, and they went ahead and said, we're just going to win this championship. That's what they did. Hillsborough Community College, the Suncoast Conference runners-up. Score is 2-1. HCC, Hillsborough with the early lead now 3-1. So again, this is an elimination game. Over on court 1, you have winners bracket. Winner advances to the national tournament. The loser will not be done. They'll get a chance to drop down into the losers bracket and have a chance at the national tournament, as well as a chance at the state tournament. That's a twist this year in the layout of the tournament. Was single elimination if you wanted to win the FCSAA title. This year it is double elimination, and you can still come back through the losers bracket and win the FCSAA championship. More importantly, well, just as important, I should say, some coaches may have a differing opinion, is qualifying for the national tournament and an opportunity to go win a national title, just like Miami-Dade did a year ago. Well, a ball came onto the floor, and they typically blow that dead. They let the play out, even though the libero had to dodge out of the way. I don't know about that one. I feel like that should have maybe done that, had that point over. But nonetheless, they let that one play out. Hillsborough with an early 5-1 lead. That's blocked. Now 6-1. Head coach for Hillsborough, Gary Larkin. Hillsborough has won a pair of FCSAA championships in the last 4 years. 2013, they won it. They defeated the College of Central Florida in the championship. And then in 2015, they won it against Polk State College. In between their years, Miami-Dade won 14 and 16. So it's really been traded back and forth between Hillsborough and Miami-Dade. A timeout on the floor, timeout FSCJ. We'll step away momentarily and we'll be right back. Sorry about that. We are back. FSCJ with a big point. They'll turn over the serve and now have an opportunity with number 18, Nicolette Ramos. She is from there in Jacksonville, went to Sandalwood High School. They'll pick up another point thanks to Ramos. She comes with a big jump serve. And just a little bit long. Right idea. That was an open spot on the floor. Good idea by Ramos. Just had a little bit too much on it. And now the libero for Hillsborough, Caroline Benke. Nine to 3. Now a point for FSCJ and a big one. They've got to rally off a couple points here, start to build some momentum and get back into this one, chip into that Hawks lead. That one long, no touch, another point for the Blue Wave. Serving the libero, a lot of topspin action on that one. Great dig, and that one just wide. Now 9 to 7. Blue Wave doing exactly what they needed to do and serving. Jennifer Torres Perez. Libero, that one into the net. Well, if you're a Blue Waves fan, you're still, you have to be happy with the way that they rallied after being down by 6. Came back, cut it to 2, now it's at 3. And if you're a Hawks fan on the other side, you're saying, all right, listen, they ran off some good points. We're still ahead by 3. We're right there. We're in control of the match. So both teams have to feel pretty good about where they're at right now, considering all the circumstances. FSCJ bounces back and takes a point. And this is more the match that I thought that it would be. I thought that it would be more of a back and forth affair between these two very talented teams. And it looks like that's what we're getting at this point in the match. Sometimes, you have some nerves early on, and you got to fight through some of that. The Blue Wave have seemed to do that and settled in. There's a kill in the middle for Hillsborough. And that was Q Salmon. Down the line, wide. Serving for the Hawks, who lead 12 to 8, is number 9, Elena Chuli. Long on the serve, a point for the Blue Wave, now 12 to 9. Hawks with an opportunity outside, down the line, and a kill for Petra Manderson. Petra Manderson, the leading attacker on this team. Both teams have the ability to spread the ball around. They don't have a player that they just have to get it to if they need a point. They're balanced. Both teams are balanced. Both teams play well defensively. Both teams serve well. Blew a whistle there. They're not ready to serve. And before the serve, we have a timeout. That's the second timeout of the match. And it is 15-9. Score was stuck there for a second, but it is 15-9, so a timeout. Second timeout used, and the last one that they will be able to use, FSCJ's coach Pedro Yantin. So we'll be back right after this. Blue Wave with the kill on the outside. That was Kaylin Cruikshank. Cruikshank with 195 kills to lead the Blue Wave coming into the tournament, hitting a robust 365. So when she takes her opportunities, she makes good use of them. Over on court number 1, Miami-Dade leads 14-8 in the first set. Just making sure with Tyler that I had the right team there. Miami-Dade is leading Polk. Miami-Dade, the defending national champions. Up and over from Ramos. Hillsborough ready for it. Chuli from the 10-foot line. Dug out nicely by the Blue Wave. Now back to the Hawks. Off hands and a kill for Kira Shepard. Shepard with 287 kills, 3 per set, just behind Petra Manderson, 3.03 per set, and 318 kills. So a 1-2 punch with also Q Salmon with 215 kills. They have 5 players with 160 or more kills. Score is 18-11. And now serving for Hillsborough. That one blocked, kept alive, but down, and a point for FSCJ. Well, FSCJ needs to rally off some points right here. That one off the hands up into the rafters. It actually finds a way to not hit anything in the rafters. And now 18-14. Polk making a run over there on court number 1, trailing by just 4. Same differential as we have here on court 2. Ramos serving. She just has a wicked topspin curve. And she gets some height on it, so it looks like maybe you're going to have time to get underneath it. But it's just like a good curve ball. There's a kill into the corner. by number 22, Ina Gosen. She's from Goldenkamp, Germany. And a timeout called by Coach Gary Larkin. The Blue Wave on the move, trailing 18-15. We'll be right back after this. Back here at the Bradenton Area Convention Center. Thank you to Matt Ennis and Kelly Warren for all the work that they do. And everyone else, George Sanders, of course. Bob Deutschman, the CAA chair. A lot of work goes into these tournaments. That one, let's see what the call is, in. Waiting for somebody to make a call. The line judge emphatically says that one was in the corner. I had the up official sort of in my way, so I couldn't necessarily see it. And what I think doesn't matter anyways. It's what the official calls. I know that comes as a surprise that I don't have any effect on it. Somebody went into the net right there, and they will get a net violation on the Blue Wave. And now 20-15. Hillsborough with the advantage. Binky serving. Big swing off the hands, wide, and a point for the Blue Wave. And the Blue Wave have done a good job in stopping the momentum of Hillsborough, but they've got to do a little bit more in terms of scoring points in bunches. It's a good opportunity because it's getting a little bit late in the set to be able to come back. So they need to rally off 3 or 4 points. Well, there's one for Hillsborough. And now they'll have to break the serve again. Nice job by Hillsborough to re-grab the momentum with that lead. And now serving will be Laura Rojas. Rojas out of Cypress Creek High School in Orlando, Florida. And the little slip by Brian Garmos, she is very, very good at that. In fact, on the season, Sharik Brian Garmos had 60 kills on 127 attempts. So she likes to go for those and is very successful doing so at about a 40% clip. Right in the middle, big blast from Kaylin Cruikshank. And a big point to make it 21-18. That serve from Gosen goes into the net. And now 22-18. Serving for Hillsborough, Elena Chuli. That one goes off. Yes, it was down, and an ace for Chuli. I thought we were going to have a ball onto the floor. I was sort of calling what was going on over there. A ball from the Miami-Dade Polk game came over, but it hit a wall that comes down. I thought it was going to come down right on the middle of the floor during the serve, but it managed to hit the wall, so no harm, no foul. No interference. And Chuli will serve another ace. Now 24-18. Back-to-back aces. And an opportunity here for Hillsborough to take a 1-0 lead. Got a 19-14 lead from Miami-Dade on the other court. Now 19-15, Polk State with the point. Now serving for the first set, Chuli. Brian Garmos right in the middle. Cruikshank off the hands and a kill for Kaylin Cruikshank. Off the hands and a point for the Hawks. Hawks take the first set. Very nicely played by Hillsborough Community College. They'll take a 1-0 lead, and we'll go to the second set. The teams will take about a 3-minute break. They'll switch sides, and we'll be ready to go here momentarily. You're watching the 2017 FCSAA NJCAA District Tournament. I'm Scott Jamison, and we'll be right back. About ready to start set number 2. Been a heck of a tournament so far. If you are just a fan of sports in general, this is such a fun tournament because the level of play, well, this goes for all of junior college athletics, but the level of play at this tournament is on a different level. And I say that because of the success that these teams have had at the national tournament every year. The state of Florida produces some of the best teams in the nation when it comes to NJCAA. And last year, Miami-Dade won the national championship. Polk State came in 3rd in the nation, and Santa Fe College came in 4th in the nation. So that just tells you sort of all you need to know right there. Iowa Western was sandwiched in there at number 2. They were a heck of a team too. We've got about 50 seconds here until the next set. And the winner of this match, we'll go ahead and cover that. The winner of this match is going to advance on through the losers bracket. The winner will see their season come to an end. Neither team will have anything to hang their heads about. Both teams have had tremendous seasons. But, of course, you never want to lose. They're competitors. They're athletes. They play for this, what they play all season for. So they're going to leave it on the floor. One team is going to come away victorious. The losing team will have their season come to an end, but should be very proud of the way they've played this year, regardless of how this ends up. The winner will move on to play tomorrow at noon right here on court number 2 against the loser of the Santa Fe St. Pete College game, which is tonight at 7 o'clock. So we are underway here in set number 2. And the first point goes to Hillsborough. There we go. Hopefully the FSCJ and score are a little bit more visible on the screen. I tried to change the color up a little bit. I didn't want to have two blues next to each other, and I know they use a gold yellowish color. Both teams do, actually, but FSCJ's is a little bit more noticeable on the sleeves and on their jersey. That's the reason for the gold color. Outside and a kill for Hillsborough. That was Kira Shepard again. Called her name a lot today. Serving now, Binky. In the middle, Cruikshank wide, and Binky did a good job getting out of the way of that one. I wasn't sure if she was going to be able to. And that one now 4-2. So the Blue Wave trailing 1-0. Would love to get this second set. Blue Wave, the champions of the Panhandle Conference in their first year in the Panhandle. Checking in to serve for Cruikshank is number 8, Jennifer Torres Perez. Outside off the hands of, that was number 18, Nicolette Ramos. Five to 2, Hillsborough leading. They also lead in the match 1-0. One thing that's not going to happen, and I've seen FSCJ play a few times this year, is they're not going to give up no matter what happens in this match. And they have the ability to come back and win this thing without question. And on the other side, you have a team that's coached by one of the best as well in the country, in Gary Larkin, and a team with a lot of talent up and down that roster. If I had to guess, we're probably in for a pretty long match here between these two good teams. Serving after that point for the Blue Wave will be Gosen. 6-3 the score, second set. You're watching the 2017 FCSAA State NJCAA Region 8 tournament. Kill for Hillsborough, 7-3. We'll be here through Sunday, and we appreciate you tuning in. We'll be covering every game of this tournament as we get closer and closer to the state championship match on Sunday. After this match, over on court one team will be qualified. That served long, a point for the Blue Wave. One team will be qualified, either Polk or Miami-Dade for the national tournament. And after 7 o'clock, either Santa Fe or St. Petersburg College will be headed to Hutchinson, Kansas for the national tournament. Swing and a miss, and a point for the Blue Wave. I would imagine if you play volleyball long enough, that has to happen to everybody. You take your eye off the ball for a second and just whiff. Sort of like in basketball, if you play long enough, you're probably going to airball a free throw or something of that nature. Miss a dunk, although I could never dunk, so there's no missing of dunks if you can't dunk to begin with. Point for Hillsborough. I think that's why somebody like myself appreciates watching these games so much, because these athletes do things that I could only really probably dream about doing. And it's tremendous to watch. And the way they are able to move in unison and on the floor, not run into each other. And it's really just a fun game to watch, and it's played at such a high level here. Anna Gosen says, sorry about that. That one's on me. Point for Hillsborough. And if I've tried to play a few times, and it really gives me that extra appreciation for the things that they're able to do out there on the court. And of course, it's hard work. They work hard every single day, 7 days a week at their craft. It's not like they just woke up one day and were able to play. And on top of that, these athletes, there's a reason they call them student athletes. They're also taking full class loads of at least 12 credit hours, typically more in some instances. On top of that, they're going to practice, they're lifting weights, they're going to study hall. They're doing all these things and still coming out and playing at this level and getting good grades and staying qualified and advancing on. To advance on to the NJCAA Division I level, you have to have a 2.5 GPA now coming out of junior college. So these are student athletes all the way around. No other way to slice it. That serve grazes the net. And the FCSAA does as good a job as anybody in the country, any region in the country, at preparing their athletes for the next level, whether that's the NJCAA Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, or the professional levels. A lot of these athletes will end up playing professionally, whether it's in the United States or internationally. There are a lot of professional volleyball leagues out there. Sometimes I start talking, Tyler, and forget to update the score. It's not funny. He's laughing, but it's not funny. The people at home don't think it's funny at all. I promise you that. That's a blast from Shepard. And now 11-8. That serve long. So a service error, and now 11-9. Just making sure there wasn't. Saw the line judge throw his flag up. There's been very few questionable calls at this tournament. Really good job by the officials. And it's a thankless job. As anybody who's officiated any sport knows, it's very thankless, but they do a very good job keeping the peace between the teams, making the calls, making those tight calls. Sometimes without a pat on the back, but that's what they do. They come back out here for the next game. So we appreciate all the officials that are here helping this tournament as make it one of the best in the nation. That was an open window for Kaylin Cruikshank, and she's not, when you get one of those, you put it away, and that's what she did. She's too good of a player. You cannot give her that much of an opening, and she's got a big smile on her face as she comes off. You cannot give that kind of space to Kaylin Cruikshank because she's going to make you pay. There's a dig, just a defensive play to get it over, and now Shepard off the hands. They did a good job rotating to Shepard. She's another player. You cannot give her an open window. They were not able to pinch the block together enough, and Elena Chuli gets the kill in between the two blockers. That's what I was talking about. It's like poetry in motion, watching these players move around the floor and stay in their proper zone, and when they're blocking, staying together and closing those blocks off and sealing the edge. And there's just so many little things that you sort of take for granted until you really pay attention to it. There's another play right in the middle. They've had a lot of success, the Blue Wave have, picking on the middle with those quick sets. And Brian Garmos, one of the best in the business, just such soft hands and the ability to really put the ball wherever she wants. And right there, she's a quick set in the middle, and they try to return the favor, but a solo block for Michael Carter. Serve from Gosen. Nice dig by Nicole DeSala. Not able to keep it alive. Hillsborough comes up with a big play to take a 2-point lead. This one back and forth type of match that Tyler and I were talking before. We figured this one had a really good shot of going 5 sets. Two teams pretty evenly matched. Two teams that have a exceptionally good chance of making the national tournament. And they don't want to go home. Neither one of these teams wants their trip to come to an end. They want to play tomorrow. Gosen over, now Hillsborough with an opportunity. Outside, up and over, and down. A kill on the outside for Petra Manderson. 15-12. Serving. That was Manderson. No, excuse me, that was Chuli. And a point for Hillsborough, now 16-12. So they're pulling away a little bit, and Coach Pedro Yanten will call a timeout. And we'll take a break with him. But we will return momentarily. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the 2017 FCSAA State NJCAA District Tournament. (17-12) out of the timeout. Hillsborough scores and will serve again with Chuli. They are leading in this elimination match. That one is going to be in. I thought that was wide, as did Gosen. And that's tough. That's a tough spot. It just died. It was a knuckle to defend Gosen a little bit, but then turn around and to give a lot of credit to Chuli for that serve. In the middle, nicely played, but a nice dig on the other side by Benke. Now they'll have a free ball opportunity. Nice dig again on the back row. Free ball, Brian Garmo slip, nope. Joust at the net, Hillsborough. Now in the middle, off the hands and a kill for the middle, Michael Carter. 18-13. Blue Wave not gonna go away. Carla Rosario to serve. Rosario out of Puerto Rico. Of course, our thoughts and prayers are with the amazing people of Puerto Rico and what they're going through. It's tough to imagine what they've had to deal with after that storm. They're obviously a resilient people. And even though you know they're going to come out on the other side of it okay, it doesn't make what they're going through any less. So, again, we just, as a country, obviously need to support Puerto Rico in every way possible. And hopefully they're all back on their feet very, very soon. Big kill in the middle, and now 18-15. Here come the Blue Wave. Serve into the net. Unfortunate break for the Blue Wave. The Hawks are elated with that one. They'll get the serve back with a 4-point lead and an opportunity to go up 2-0 and grab control of this match. And the Hawks are too good of a team to give points to. They will earn enough points on their own. And you give them points, and now you're just putting yourself in a tough spot. That serve really sailed. So a point right back to the Blue Wave. Mike Rideout covering the game, the winner's bracket game on court, the match I should say, on court number 1. Miami-Dade battling Polk State College, two of the best in the country. Coach Kiko Benoit for Miami-Dade, the National Coach of the Year last year, and Coach Armand Devalle for Polk, one of the best in the business. That's a kill on the outside. What a great adjustment Petra Manderson was able to make. She was able to adjust her body and sort of lean into that one and still get on top of the ball. Really nice play. 20-16 now, Hillsborough. And a service error for the Hawks. (21-17) the score. Hillsborough with the serve. Manderson behind the line. That will be a point for the Blue Wave. Now 21-18. The Blue Wave need a couple points here. They cannot keep trading points at the end. They're getting too close. Hillsborough, I should say, is getting too close to that 25-point margin. If you are the Blue Wave, you have to buckle down here. The Hawks, on the other hand, they're all right trading points. They'll go ahead, and if they don't get this one, that one long, no touch called. And they're still okay right now, the Hawks are. But the Blue Wave want to keep the pressure on. We've got a timeout, 21-19, timeout Hillsborough. We'll be right back after this from the FCSAA NJCAA District Tournament. Back here at the Bradenton Area Convention Center. Service error on the Blue Wave, and Hillsborough back with a 3-point advantage. Well, we said before, Coach Gary Larkin has been here, done that. He's got some FCSAA championships under his belt. 2 in the last 4 years, in fact. He knows what it takes to win this tournament. FSCJ, after a few years away from the tournament, not qualifying, came here as the Panhandle Conference champions. And they don't want to go home. Neither team wants to go home. Serving for the Blue Wave, number 8, Jennifer Perez. She'll serve. And that one overpassed on the serve reception and slapped down at the net by Michael Carter. Serving again, trying to tie this one up. This is a big point for both teams. This could be the crucial point in the set, and it goes into the net. 23-21. Well, that was such a big point because it's either a tie or Hillsborough is 2 points away with a 2-point lead. Serve from Laura Rojas. In the middle, that's a kill for Carla Rosario. Ina Gosen serving. Outside through the blockers. Again, just a hair late on that block. And it costs the Blue Wave a point, and the Hawks now set point in the second set, trying to go ahead 2-0. That's in. Beautiful shot. Not going to go away. Tyler just brought something up at the last break. He said, you know, there hasn't been a match here yet where it's just been a complete thrashing. And we've had those in the past where, you know, the team, after they get down 1 or 2 sets, they sort of, you can see it. You can just see in their face and in their body language, they know it's over. They, you know, they're just not able to give it their all. That has not been the case this year at all. Teams have been fighting, scratching, and clawing down to the last point, whether it's 24-8 or whether it's 24-23. And that's, again, why this tournament is so great. And even in the past, it's been maybe one match at the tournament or something like that, you know, where just it's an overmatched matchup for one of the teams, and they know it. It has not been the case this year. So it's been a lot of fun to watch so far, and we've got 2 more days of this. All serving to try to tie this one up is Carla Rosario. Her first job is to make sure that this is not a service error. You do not want this match to end on a service error. Good serve. Hillsborough in the middle. Long. We've got a tie score, 24-24. Big time point from the Blue Wave. Now the Hawks. How will they answer? Rosario to serve. Hawks to receive. Serve goes to the libero. Outside. And a point for Hillsborough. So they answer with a point of their own. And now, again, set point. Set point for Hillsborough. Outside to Ramos. Great dig. Defensive dig. Now they're going to get a free ball. But nope, they are going to make something of it, but it goes into the net, and Hillsborough takes the set. Well, Jacksonville fought all the way to the end. It's not over. Hillsborough is hoping that it will be in one more set. Jacksonville needs to win 3 in a row. We'll be back with this third set. You are watching the FCSAA NJCAA District Tournament. Back here at the Bradenton Area Convention Center, Scott Jamieson bringing you all the action. Mike Rideout on court number 1. Appreciate everybody who's tuned in, watching this one unfold. Serve from Hillsborough to start the third set. Lucia Cardamil. And a lift called, so a point for FSCJ. Well, FSCJ has to win 3 sets in a row. They can do it. They've done it before. But it's going to be tough. It's against a talented, well-coached Hawks team. But as I said, the Blue Wave can do it. They've done it before. They have a coach on the other side that has been in these situations. He's excelled this season coaching this team. Their first year in the Panhandle Conference, and they've got a 3-0 lead to start things off. Exactly how they wanted to answer this one. Now 4-0. Sharik Brian Garmos serving. And now it's 5-0. So not only did they start out the way they wanted to, they've got a 5-0 lead. Well, Coach Gary Larkin will put some defensive help out there, and Laura Rojas to try to get this serve, the Blue Wave, under control. And there's the 6th point. I have to make sure on that one. 6th point for FSCJ to start the third set. Well, Hillsborough a little shell-shocked here early on in the third set. Up and over, Brian Garmos with a tremendous play. Keep that one alive. Hillsborough just looking for a point, and they're going to get it. Nice play, nice shot by Petra Manderson. Seven to 1 the score. Seven to 1, serving Ramos. Nicolette Ramos, blocked and in by Gosen. Whatever Coach Pedro Yantin said in the 3 minutes that he had between the second and third set has seemed to have gone over well with his players. And that's an ace. FSCJ says we're not ready to go home. Hillsborough, we'll see what they're made of here a little bit, see how they react to being down 9-1. They haven't had to face that adversity in this match yet. It's a little easier to deal with when you're ahead 2-0 in the match, but you don't want to let complacency slide its way in there, rear its ugly head, because complacency will get you beat in volleyball. I think that's something Coach Larkin's going to talk to his players about right now. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching the 2017 FCSAA State and JCAA District Tournament. 10-1 serve from Nicolette Ramos. FSCJ now with the opportunity and a cut right down the line. 11-1. This has been the Blue Wave show here in the third set after it was the Hillsborough show for the first 2 sets. FSCJ saying, wait a second, everybody. Don't count us out just yet. We're not the Panhandle Conference champions for nothing. The Panhandle Conference runners-up, Santa Fe College, defeated the Mid-Florida Conference champion College of Central Florida in a really tight 5-set match. The only 5-set match we've had so far. Really could have gone either way. And St. Pete defeated St. Pete, the champions of the Suncoast Conference. Defeated the runners-up in the Southern Conference, Palm Beach State College. Now 12-2. So St. Pete and Santa Fe will play at 7 o'clock. Right here on court number 2, you'll have the pleasure of listening to Mike Rideout call that game. I'm going to slide over to court number 1 and cover that game, which will be the College of Central Florida against Palm Beach. 12-3 now the score over here on court number 2. Elimination game. A lot riding on this match. Laura Rojas with the serve for Hillsborough. And it goes in with the big blasts, and it goes over the net. Well, I don't think the Blue Wave players were ready for that one to come over. They're positioning themselves for the block and positioning themselves defensively and lost track of the ball. So a good shot ends up hurting you, which is frustrating, I'm sure. Yeah, point for Hillsborough. Brian Garmos did what she could. That one was going to go over. She had to try to make a play on it. That one long, so a point for the Blue Wave. Now 13-5. Gosen serving for the Blue Wave. Outside to Chuli. Now an opportunity for the Blue Wave. They'll send it over. Hawks. Big swing and another dig. That's Nicolette Ramos this time, and then a kill on the outside. That was number 9, Carla Rosario. Off the hands, and that was enough to mess Nicolette Ramos, her timing up. She was sliding to her right. The ball was deflected back to her left a little bit, and just enough to where she was not able to square the ball up. Serve now coming from Elena Chuli. That's blocked but kept alive by Brian Garmos. And she sends that one to the back row. Great read, great volleyball IQ. Nice play just out of the reach of the Hillsborough libero, Caroline Benke. Miami-Dade leading 6-3 in the third set on court number 1. That one is for a berth at the national tournament. Miami-Dade 27-0 and number 1 in the nation. That's a kill. Now 15-7. Nothing doing there for Hillsborough. Not much they could do with a blast from the Blue Wave, and now back to a 9-point lead for FSCJ. Well, Hillsborough, at this point, you're still in it. You're not giving up hope winning this set. If it gets any wider of a lead, you've got to start playing for some positive plays and some momentum for that fourth set. You don't want to let the Blue Wave go in with all the momentum, with all the energy. And I think right now, again, Hillsborough has not given up on this one. I think they're still within striking distance of winning this one. That one wide, no touch, so a point for Hillsborough. And a play like that can shift momentum. Look like there might have been a touch. Look like it could have been a point for the Blue Wave. It goes the way of Hillsborough, and now Hillsborough needs to take advantage of that. Polk State trying to fight and stay with Miami-Dade. (16-8) FSCJ out front of Hillsborough. Opportunity here for the Hawks. The set goes outside. Manderson. Now again, they'll go back outside to Petra Manderson, and a kill for the sophomore from Christchurch, New Zealand. Serving, Lucia Cardamil. Outside of Manderson, and they're going back to Manderson a lot. Julie from the 10-foot line. Great dig on the other side. In the middle, straight down. Cruikshank. Can't give her that. Now 17-9. Hillsborough is blocked at the net. FSCJ with another point, now leading 18-9. They want this thing to go to a fourth set. I'll have two more matches for you at 7 o'clock. One elimination match between Palm Beach and the College of Central Florida, and one winner's bracket match between Santa Fe College and St. Petersburg College. (18-10), Hillsborough will serve. Serving for the Hawks is Manderson. Set goes way outside, and a kill. Now 19-10. FSCJ, as the Hawks were last set, perfectly fine with trading points at this point in the set. Ramos. Hillsborough somehow keeps that alive. A free ball opportunity now for the Blue Wave. Off the hands and out. Little help from the Miami-Dade player over there. Keeps that one from rolling all the way across the convention center. Ramos serves. Slide play, kept alive by the Blue Wave. Big swing, dug out by Diaz. Set goes across. Dug out again. That looked like it might have been long. Now an opportunity for Hillsborough. In the middle, Manderson. Nobody home. She puts it right between Ramos and Brian Garmos. And now 20-11. Well, Hillsborough has some work to do if they want to get back in this one. It's going to have to start with Caroline Benke, who's back behind the service line. And that's a great play by the middle, Cruikshank, to adjust her body in the air and still keep that one in. We've seen that a couple times from both teams. The athletic ability to jump and then contort their bodies to where they're able to get to the ball and still make solid contact. A lot harder than they make it look. Can promise you that. Now serving for Florida State College of Jacksonville, Jennifer Torres Perez. Middle to Manderson, long. 22-11. This one getting closer to a finish. 3 points away now for the Blue Wave to send it to a fourth set. And they're taking it point by point right now. They've got some ground to make up, but they can't make it all up at once. That's an illegal contact call. It was a block anyways. And I'm sure that's what Coach Pedro Yonton was stressing was, listen, we can't win 3 sets at once. We've got to win one at a time. Outside, off hands. And a net violation. That was called on Laura Rojas. Torres Perez serves service error. 24-12, so it is set point. Laura Rojas trying to stave off set point. There's an ace for Rojas. Rojas serves wide. And that will do it for the third set. FSCJ takes it. We'll go to the fourth. Hillsborough still in the lead, 2-1. But FSCJ making some noise. We'll see what happens with that fourth set when we return to the FCSAA NJCAA District Tournament. Just about ready to go here with the fourth set. Scott Jamieson with you from the Bradenton Area Convention Center. Live at the 2017 FCSAA State and JCAA District Tournament. 3 teams from this tournament will qualify for nationals in Hutchinson, Kansas. Right now, Miami-Dade is inching towards that national tournament berth, which is not that surprising considering they came in at 26-0, now 27-0. Number 1 team in the nation, defending national champions. On court 2 right here, we have an elimination game. Hillsborough Community College and Florida State College at Jacksonville. There's a point for the Blue Wave of Florida State College at Jacksonville, and now serving will be number 18, Nicolette Ramos, freshman from Sandalwood High School in Jacksonville. Attack by Manderson, a kill and a point for Hillsborough, who go up 2-1. Hillsborough sort of lost their way a little bit in that third set after winning the first 2. And I don't think it was as much complacency of winning as it was Jacksonville really stepping their game up. I think that had more to do with it. I think sometimes it's easy maybe as either a spectator or a fan of the team that got beat to say, oh, well, we beat ourselves. We just didn't do it. We beat ourselves. Well, sometimes you got to give credit to the other team. And I think in this case, that's probably more of an accurate assessment of that third set. There's a point for Hillsborough, and now 3-2 advantage for the Hawks. Listen, there's no team at this tournament that is going to roll over for anybody. There's no easy wins, quote unquote. Everybody here earned their spot. Everybody here wants to take home the trophy. Everybody here wants to go to Hutchinson, Kansas. There's no easy matches for anyone. As Miami-Dade even found out, they had lost 1 set in about a month. And Hillsborough gave them what they could handle in the first match. Brian Garmos outside to Gosen, and a kill in that back corner. Well, as soon as we have a final on court 1, we will let you know. Blocked, sent over, kept alive by Hillsborough. They'll have to send sort of a free ball over. In the middle, timing was off on the jump, so not able to get a lot on it. Shepard with the kill. Great hustle. Great hustle. Everybody's okay over there. Crashed into a table, and somebody looked like they might have jumped over a table. Holy smokes. Got high jumpers and stuff in here. Nicole DeSala is 5 feet tall, and I think she just jumped over a table. I want to talk about athleticism. There you go. Shepard, big swing and a kill, and now 6-3 the score. See how close Pedro Janssen gets, and you can see the down official looking over to see if there's going to be a timeout. He's going to hold off. Back set, Garmos to Gosen. Dug out. No, not able to get to it, so that pass just a little off the mark. Big swing from Shepard and in on the line, a kill for Hillsborough, now 7-4. Substitutions for Hillsborough. Coming in is number 12, Q Salmon. That's a point for Hillsborough. 4 touches and 8-4 is the score. Serving for the Hawks, DJ Proper. Miss hit by Petra Manderson. She's usually used to taking some big swings and just mishit that one. And the Blue Wave will gladly take it. Serving was DeSala, libero, and a kill in the middle for Q Salmon. 9-5. Miami-Dade leads 22-17 in the third set. They also lead the match 2-0. And that's saying something because Polk is really, really good. That just shows you the level right now that Miami-Dade is playing at. Polk beat FSCJ 3-0, which is no easy task either. (10-5), Hawks with the advantage. Ryan Garmos in the middle. Blocked. They'll try it again. Bump set. Ramos will have to send it over. Oh, well, it's a good shot because it's taken them out of rhythm too. Now they'll get the free ball opportunity. Set in the middle. They'll go back to it. Kept alive. Now sent over. Another chance for the Blue Wave. They need to take advantage. Slide play. Nothing doing. Good pass. Set. Truly. Off hands. Gosen there for it. Outside again to Ramos. This time off the hands. And a kill for Nicolette Ramos. Shriek Brian Garmos will serve for the Blue Wave. Great pass. Set. Little off the mark on the set. Nice dig and kept alive. Sent over, free ball opportunity. Good shot here, and Brian Garmos does what she does. And great court vision. Well, Miami-Dade is celebrating over on court number 1. They have qualified for the national tournament. And they are headed to Hutchinson, Kansas, but their work here in Bradenton is far from over. They'll have a match tomorrow for the winner's bracket final. Off the hands and a kill, now 10-8. So the Blue Wave clawing their way back into it. Miami-Dade, who took nothing for granted. Obviously, you come in with a bullseye. Illegal contact, now 10-9. But Miami-Dade did what they needed to do, and they're headed back to the national tournament. They'll play either St. Pete or Santa Fe in the finals of the winner's bracket. Substitution now for Hillsborough. That's Lucia Catamil. That one in on the back line. Now 10-10 again with that play. Eyes in the back of her head. Unbelievable. Brian Garmos serves. Nearly an ace. Free ball now to try to take the lead. Or the Blue Wave in the middle. Through the block. Great defensive play. Outside cut across. Now here we are with the Blue Wave again. Nobody home on that play, and 11-10 advantage now for Hillsborough. But the Blue Waves have fought their way back. They tied it up, now trail by 1, but they're right back where they want to be. Ryan Garmos with the set outside. No touch called, now 12-10. Looking at both line judges to make sure there wasn't a hand on top of the flag. None to be found, so a point for the Hawks. Serving is Caroline Benke, who has relinquished the libero jersey to Nelly Diaz. Have to lie, this is going to take some strength. Well, strength and momentum. She had the momentum going against her. She gave it as good of an effort as she could. Slow to get up, but I think she's okay. Yes, she's okay. That's good news. 13-10. 3 straight points now scored by the Hawks. Benke serves. We'll go at Diaz, or excuse me, not Diaz, at DeSala, mixing up the 2 liberos. They're not even wearing the same number. Big swing in the middle, solo block for Q Salmon. Cruikshank with a big swing, and now 14-10 and a timeout. FSCJ timeout. We'll be back on the FCSAA Sports YouTube channel. Back at the Bradenton Area Convention Center, Scott Jamieson with you. And Tyler Allen. Okay, sorry, Tyler. Tyler's here too. Mike's somewhere. Mike went to, that match is over, so Mike took a break, a well-deserved break. He's going to get a drink of water or soda, something of that nature. 15-10. Great serve, great serve reception to even keep that alive. Illegal contact on Cruikshank. That's a tough play. That's not a spot she's used to or a shot that she's used to. And another timeout called by the Blue Wave. So we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. We are back live at the Bradenton Area Convention Center. Scott Jamieson bringing you the action. And another point for the Hawks has them out to a 7-point advantage and in control of this 4th set. This is a must-win set for FSCJ. If the Blue Wave want to continue this match, they've got to win this one to send it to a 5th set. They trail 2-0. Blocked and not able to keep it alive. We may have an injury. Might have been poked in the eye. And she says, "No, you're not taking me out. I'm good." That's Lucia Cardamil. It's either poked in the eye or maybe off the nose. Maybe a ball off the nose or something, but she's good. Ready to go. Probably be hard-pressed to take any of these athletes out of this game in a match that's so close with so much on the line. That's a block for the Hawks, and they now lead 18-11. That'll fire up the Hawks crowd here in attendance. Of course, Hillsborough not far from Bradenton. Big swing and a kill on the outside for Carla Rosario. HCC does not want to let this get to a 5th set. They've seen what the Blue Wave can do with a little bit of momentum. Outside, Manderson off the hands and killed. Those deflections are so tough to read, and the ball's coming in with so much pace. It's tough to, once you've started sliding one way, to try to adjust back. Almost impossible, as we just saw right there. Now serving, Lucia Cardamil. Gosen off the hands and a kill for the Blue Wave, now 19-13. Well, Gosen's got to do some work right here with the serve. She wants to keep her team in it. She wants to keep this season going. Outside, blocked, kept alive, and a free ball opportunity. The Blue Wave, an overpass, and that one hurts. That was a tough one. Good opportunity on a free ball, and just an overpass there cost them the point. Give Hillsborough credit for being all over it. Right there at the net, reading that one and getting the put away. Net violation called on Michael Carter. Wide on the attack from Gosen, and now 22-13. That one goes into the net. Blue Wave will take the point, 22-14. Bump set, down the line, wide. Now 23-15. (23-15), 2 points away for Hillsborough. Through the block and down, so Blue Wave staying alive. That point will go to Hillsborough, and now it is match point, 24-16. Hawks trying to advance. Should the Hawks win, they will, well, let's only pull a bracket up to make sure. the Hawks win, they will play the loser of Santa Fe and St. Pete College. Off the hands, and the Blue Wave staying alive. Sharique Bryan-Garmo serving. She's a sophomore, does not want her FSCJ career to come to an end. And that's going to do it. Hillsborough will advance. FSCJ will see their season come to an end, but they have nothing at all to hang their heads about. Great season for the Blue Wave. They'll finish up at 16-10, Panhandle Conference champions. No one can ever take that away from you. Cannot take a championship away. And they'll always have that. Good sportsmanship, of course, shown by both teams. That's tough to do when you lose sometimes. So that's great to see from the Blue Wave and Coach Pedro Yanton. They're all slapping five, saying, listen, we gave it everything we had today. That's all we can do at this point. Leave it all out there on the court. Game's decided, but you can decide how hard you play. And again, the Blue Wave, nothing to hang their heads about. Great season, and congratulations, of course, to Hillsborough. They'll advance on, and they will play tomorrow, and that game will be at noon right here on court number 2. You can watch that on the FCSA Sports YouTube channel. Coming up at 7 o'clock here on court 2, Santa Fe and St. Petersburg College. Mike Rideout will bring you that game. And over on court number 1, we will have College of Central Florida and Palm Beach State College. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Scott Jamieson on behalf of Tyler Allen, Kelly Warren, Matt Ennis. We will see you at 7 o'clock.